We shall explore how does Singapore transform from a third world nation to a developed country within 50 years after its independence from Malaysia on 9 of August 1965. Singapore is a very interesting case study of a perfect example where it adhered to Chinese astrology and feng shui to develop its economy. By the end of this video, you will have an overview of different transition phase based on the Singapore's birth charts and its luck pillar. Prepare to be amazed by Singapore's incredible journey through its luck pillar in the astrology chart. Despite of its small size and lack of natural resources, these small islands has made a jaw-dropping progress by leaps and bounds since gaining independence from Malaysia in 1965 from a third world country to a full-fledged developed nation. Singapore's stories is nothing short of tale of triumph against all odds. Singapore was in its first luck pillar 10 years after its independence from Malaysia in 1975, which is Yik Yu or wood rooster, where the government is like the same metal hidden in the rooster, here a scissors cutting the yik wood, the people with its control on population of 2 children's policy. In 1985 to 2004, Singapore was in the fire luck cycle, which is the output element of yik wood. During this time, Singapore has aggressively pursuing the manufacturing industries. Singapore had emerged to become the manufacturing hubs in Southeast Asia in the 80s, mainly on electronic products such as hard disk drive in 1990s to the early 2000s, and it was named as the Winchester City, synonymous to the big hard disk drive such as Seagate and Western Digital, who had their biggest manufacturing facilities in Singapore, in Asia. Later on in the late 1990s to the 21st century, there was a diversification into the aerospace and biomedical industries, wafer fab, and even liquid crystals display fabrication. I've traveled to Singapore at least once a month to audit manufacturers during that time who was the supplier of the MNC which I served at the time. Therefore, it was like my second home then. If you find this video interesting, I would appreciate a subscription and a like to this video to give me the positive energy and inspiration to create more informative and interesting video as an exchange of energy. When Singapore transitioned into the Earth luck cycle since 2005 and it will be until 2024 of Earth 2005 till 2014 and 2015 to 2024, and with China's growth in manufacturing industries and ample human resources, Singapore has decided to focus less on the labor-intensive manufacturing industries and transition itself to highly skilled industries such as finance and also services, which align to the earth element, especially finance, which is aligned to the earth element, which is the wealth element of Singapore, and also looking into services and R&D center. Once again, Singapore has become the global financial center in Asia, and this has also elevated Singapore to a developed country in 2015, and recently it has become the top financial center overtaking Hong Kong. Another example of how this country has tapped into the timing of the luck pillar to become successful. Singapore will be in the Kenying or the metal luck pillar in 2025, which is already a period 9. If you want to know what is period 9 or learn more about it, you can refer to my other videos on period 9, where I will put the link below or the end screen of this video. The Kenying, the metal and the wood energy is actually very strong. The metal represents the officer style of the yeek wood, which means government is pivoted for the growth of Singapore to become an education of information center or hub, as wood also represents education and information. Kenying is also a spiritual pillar aligned to period 9, where Singaporeans would become more spiritual instead of materialistic and start to change their priority from wealth to the well-being and spiritual cultivation. I hope you liked today's video, and you can comment on what do you think of Singapore. Is it transitioning from a materialistic society to a more spiritual society? You can also share this content with your friends and family who has questions about Singapore. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in my future videos. Do check out my previous videos on Singapore's future as well.